Hello, my name is Jessica Kumar, and you're about to watch a paper-side presentation based on Frankenstein, a novel written by Mary Shelley. In summary, the book starts off with Captain Walton, who is on his way to the Arctic for scientific discoveries. On his way, Walton encounters Victor Frankenstein, who has been traveling by sledge across the ice and is weakened by the cold. So Walton takes Victor abroad until he recovers. Meanwhile, Victor starts telling Captain Walton about his history and origins. Victor grew up in Geneva, Switzerland with his father and mother. Victor was about 4 years old when his mother discovered Elizabeth, an orphan living in the cottages of poor. She decides to adopt Elizabeth and have Victor spend his childhood with her, encouraging the fact that he shall one day marry her. Victor felt as though Elizabeth was a gift to him from his mother, whom he shall love and nourish till his last breath. At the age of 17, Victor prepares to leave his family to go study in the University of Ingolstadt, but just before he leaves, his mother dies, which devastated Victor, changing his perspective on science. During his studies, he was fascinated by the creation of life and begins to study the anatomy and decay of the human body. This interest in knowledge leads him to an experiment which will change his life entirely. But his experiment turns out to have created a creature with an awful appearance, which horrifies Victor. Victor tries to run away in fear and disgust from his creation, leaving the monster to feel isolated, lonely, and sad. Soon enough, that very same loneliness, sadness, and despair turns into hatred and anger, as he is not just denied by Victor, but also by every other human who cannot see the inner beauty of his truthfulness and kindness. He then seeks revenge on his creator's family to avenge the injury and sorrow he tolerates from others. He kills William, who was Victor's little brother, Henry, who was Victor's best friend, and Elizabeth. After all of this, Victor's father also dies a few months later. After losing his friends and families, Victor now wants revenge and chases the monster for months, finally arriving in the Arctic where he met Walton. Having finished his story, Victor dies on Walton's ship, and then the monster disappears in the waves and darkness, never to be seen again. Frankenstein is an example of great literature because of its critical commentary, the author's message, and also because of its realistic connections. The first reason why this novel is an excellent example of great literature is because of the critical commentary that exists in this book. For example, Robert Cowley states that Frankenstein is neither a pure hymn to Godwin and Shelley, nor a simple repudiation of them. Mary's uncertainties are not reflected in purity. Whatever else she may have thought, Mary obviously did not regard her father or husband as silly. Her reservations about them were deep, complex, and mixed with genuine admiration. Robert Cowley phrases Mary's ability to combine her father's sentence structure and husband's abstract vocabulary into one form and present it in such a complex way. I think that Mary Shelley did a fantastic job presenting the universal truth through the book and through her life. She respected both her husband and father's work ethics and style to put together Frankenstein. The second reason is because of the message Mary Shelley portrayed in this novel. For example, the message presented in her novel through various challenges Victor faced is that the pursuit of knowledge can be a dangerous journey. The plot of Frankenstein demonstrates the danger of pursuing knowledge that is not in the limitations of human beings. Due to Victor's interest in the creation of life, his experiment turns out to have created a creature with an awful appearance which horrifies Victor. Victor even tries to run away from the monster while denying him the respect he deserves, leaving the monster alone. The last reason is because of realistic connections in this novel. The creation that Victor Frankenstein has created was a wonderful example of reality, as he was isolated, lonely, and judged solely based on his appearance. No one cared for his good values of honesty, as he was just exploring the new world he came into. Frankenstein's creature just wanted some attention and recognition. If he had received some love or care, maybe he wouldn't have done such evil deeds, but instead lived happily. This just shows how we can't ignore the less fortunate or people who are different, whether that means religion or looks. It was proof that we shouldn't ignore the different by the words of Frankenstein's monster. Did I request thee, maker, from my clay mold me man? Did I sent thee from darkness to promote me? The monster was just like a baby who was just watching and learning, and so since he was treated with such disgust and hatred, he just returned the favor to everyone else as he was taught those new values. Frankenstein is a great literature because of its critical commentary. Mary Shelley did a great job of presenting the universal truth through the book and her life. Secondly, because of the message she portrayed, which was the pursuit of knowledge can be a dangerous journey. And lastly, because of the realistic connections. I would like to end off the presentation by saying that think twice before following unrealistic dreams and wants.